And obviously, this is the show you took a step back from Grey's Anatomy to do. I mean, how challenging was it for you to turn off Meredith Grey and step into Christine, who is so layered? There's so much to do here. You know?
Wasn't challenging at all. It was the best kind of challenge. I mean, it was challenging to do, but not challenging to step away from Meredith. It's something I've been dying to find something that was such a turn, and with the hair and the makeup and the wardrobe and just our whole crew come together to help me create this character. My dialect coach, my acting coach, my supporting actors, who all sort of shine light on different things and illuminate my mind and give me ideas. And it was really super challenging, and obviously a lot of ways. You've watched it, you've seen, but creatively very fulfilling.
There's a big anniversary coming up. Shondaland is celebrating 20 years this year with the launch of Grey's Anatomy.
If we find the answer, the surgery's yours. Do you want to work together or not?
Deal.
How does that sit with you? You know, that lasting power of Grey's all these years.
It's so confusing because I thought last year was the 20th anniversary, but I don't know. I think, listen, I love Shondaland, and I love the 20th anniversary of Grey's Anatomy and all of it. It's, you know, it's incredible. It really is. I don't think anybody foresaw the fans being this passionate about the show, and I think it just speaks to the groundwork that Shonda laid 20 years ago. And the original cast, we all did such strong work and gripped people. And then to keep it going, you know, people say in Hollywood or wherever, any sort of business, it's getting there is one thing and staying there is another. So I think we're all pretty grateful.
Hi, is this Mrs. Barnett? I see you were on the path to adopting. We have a little girl here. She is 7, and she has dwarfism.
And what's her name?
Natalia Grace.
Natalia Grace. That is beautiful.
Congratulations on this series. You know, a tall order for any actor, really, but it's the kind of role that you want to chase. I feel like it was probably a dream role for you.
A dream and a nightmare.
I bet. Well, because there's a lot.
There's a lot. It was scary. It's scary stuff, you know, and you want to make sure that you don't do the bad version of this show. And so with our writers, I knew that wasn't going to happen. And with Imogen Faith Reed, I knew that wasn't going to happen. And we had just an incredible supporting cast, great writers, the whole thing, all the hair, the makeup, the wardrobe. It takes all of it, you know, really to create the character and the show.
Right.
And we had a really good team of people come together.
I mean, let's talk about those amazing cast members of yours. I was talking with Imogen. I mean, this is her first TV role. Why was she the perfect person to play Natalia, and how did you find her?
So Imogen was cast before I was. And when I was thinking about taking this role, I thought, well, you know, we don't want to do the bad version of the show, and how do we pull this off? Right. We need all the perfect elements to pull this off. And they said, you have to meet Imogen. And so we Zoomed, and because she lives in the UK, and I think, I don't know, we stayed on the phone for 2 or 3 hours. Wow. We just got along so well. And she really sealed the deal for me. I thought that, you know, it's so exciting also to be part of her first lead role. So that was really exciting for me. And then just, you know, she was a perfect partner. And then the rest of the supporting cast, you know, Christina Hendricks and Dule Hill and Sorry You Blue, and Mark Duplass, obviously.
Everyone was just at the top of their game in this.
Yeah.
They really, really were. And I mean, obviously some of those scenes with you and Imogen are so intense.
The photo isn't her. She stole someone's identity.
I don't know what's going on.
How old are you?
I mean, how did you work with her to get those scenes right?
You know, I think that as an actor, you listen. That's your number one job, I guess, to staying present and knowing your lines and listening. And I relied a lot on her, and we just communicated and checked in with each other. And you know, and I put my foot down a couple times on some things. I was like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. That feels a bit too far, or I can't do this one more time. So, you know, I had to set some boundaries every once in a while. Of course, as long as they have it. It's like, do you have it? Because I don't want to do that again if we have it. And don't make me do it again if we have it. And I'm always one, and I advocate for other actors. I always say, ask for another one if you want it. Ask for another one if you want it. actors should have that power and freedom. Sure. But on this, I was like, if you have it, I'm good to move on.
That's good, yeah. Like, I'm good if you're good, please. Right? Because I'm sure it's on the paper, but you don't realize the toll it might take until you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Until you're filming it. Yeah. That makes sense to me. I mean, as a mom of 3, how difficult was it for you to tap into those emotions, especially in those kind of like moments of friction and tension and abuse, really, between you and Natalia?
Well, on paper, you see that it's intense.
Yeah.
And then doing it is another layer.
Do you have her school records? That's her birth certificate. This one's not even in English.
Why is this bothering you? They let her in, right?
We're supposed to be on the same team.
Don't do that. We are on the same team.
You kind of get anxious when you read it. You're like, oh my God.
And when you know what you're gonna film that day.
Yeah. And so as a parent, it's challenging. I have to say, because we all have bad moments as parents, right? Mm-hmm. And so, these are, a lot of bad moments. And so I don't obviously I'm nervous about my little kids seeing this. I don't want them to see me this way. And I just am acutely aware of how much, I think much more so, is how much damage you can do to kids.
Something is off. She has adult teeth. There are signs of puberty. Michael? I don't think she's a little girl.
How much responsibility we have as parents to make the right choices and to not overreact, and that's hard because life throws us curveball after curveball. And I have to say that I lost a friend, a very dear friend, right before we started filming, like literally the week before we started filming, and that gave me a lot of anger and sadness and rage. So I relied on those emotions.
Channeled that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, obviously people feel very strongly about this case. Also, this show is coming at a time where true crime fans are rampant.
For more than a decade, the curious case of Natalia Grace has mystified investigators, medical experts, and the public.
What emotions or conversations do you hope this sparks when people watch it?
I think, as artists, what we hope to do is make people feel. Yep. And I think that particularly now, we need empathy more than we've ever needed it. And we need less judgment and more empathy. And I hope that people watch this show and question how they look at things, how they judge people or don't. What truths do they think exist? Or, you and I can watch the same exact thing and come away and have completely different versions of what just happened.
We're with Child Protective Services.
What?
There's been some concern about the safety of the children in your home.
Did someone leave you there?
You have no idea how those people hurt this girl. We are helping her.
She's choosing to con us. You're choosing to believe her.
You're the one lying to me.
And everybody's been in a situation with their life. They've been in a conflict with a friend, and they're like, well, I said this, and you said this, and I didn't say that. Yeah, and that's the human experience, right? And that is the heartbeat of this show. And so I think it's something everybody experiences, and that's why it's riveting TV.